Chosen one, lean in. Because what you're about to hear isn't just information, it's confirmation. A spiritual truth your soul may have been aching to receive. We live in a world that's overflowing with distractions, with temptations, with subtle but powerful forces designed to drain your divine energy, distort your clarity, and pull you away from your calling. But make no mistake, these aren't random distractions. They're targeted attacks, strategic attempts by the enemy to keep you bound in places where you are meant to walk in freedom. And one of the greatest weapons being used against chosen ones in this generation is the distortion and misuse of sexual energy. See, sexual energy is not just physical, it's spiritual. It's not just desire, it's divine power. It was never meant to be casual. It was designed to create, to connect, to align us with divine purpose. That's why when it's misused, it doesn't just leave you with guilt, it leaves you spiritually disconnected, emotionally fragmented, and energetically drained. The truth is, some of the deepest spiritual warfare you'll face won't come in the form of obvious attacks. It won't come as demons or darkness. It'll come wrapped in attraction, in chemistry, in comfort. It'll come through soul ties you never meant to form, or through moments of weakness you haven't forgiven yourself for. It'll come through distractions that feel like love, but leave you spiritually empty. And that's not by accident. The enemy understands that if he can distort your connection to your sexual power, he can weaken your spiritual discernment. He knows that when you're spiritually cloudy, you're easier to manipulate, easier to distract, easier to pull off the path you were destined for. But here's what most people don't talk about. Many of us are walking around carrying invisible weight, emotional heaviness, anxiety that doesn't seem to have a root, confusion that lingers even when life seems to be going well. And sometimes that weight is tied to unhealed, unspoken sexual wounds. We tell ourselves it's just in the past. We compartmentalize. We push it down. But the soul keeps score. The energy lingers. And every unaddressed sexual entanglement becomes a contract, an invisible agreement that affects how freely we can move in the spirit. Some of us are walking around with spiritual leaks. We pray but feel disconnected. We speak affirmations but still feel broken. We try to rise, but something keeps pulling us back down. And often, it's because we've never fully confronted the spiritual consequences of past sexual decisions. We've given parts of ourselves to people who were never meant to hold us. We've allowed our light to dim in the name of desire. We've traded sacred energy for temporary validation. But let me be clear, you are not dirty. You are not disqualified. You are not unworthy because you've struggled in this area. If anything, the magnitude of your battle is often a direct reflection of the magnitude of your calling. The enemy doesn't waste energy on people who aren't a threat. If you've been heavily attacked in this area, it's because your purity holds power. Your alignment holds influence. Your presence shakes atmospheres, and the enemy knows it. The goal here isn't to shame you. It's to wake you up, to help you remember who you are. You weren't created to be bound by lust. You weren't designed to be addicted to false intimacy. You weren't meant to carry the weight of soul ties, porn addiction, or relationships that leave you emotionally starved and spiritually bankrupt. You were made for wholeness, for love that reflects heaven, for connection that honors the sacred within you. But here's the part we often avoid. The healing starts with truth. Not just spiritual truth, but honest, raw self-reflection. Because the more we ignore these areas, the more power they hold over us. The more we pretend that our sexual choices don't impact our spiritual clarity, the more we stay stuck. And the longer we stay stuck, the more we risk missing the fullness of what God has for us. So let's talk about it, not from a place of judgment, but from a place of deep love and divine urgency. Because you deserve to be free. You deserve to walk in full power. You deserve relationships that lift your spirit, not drain it. And to get there, we have to start recognizing what's been holding us back. Maybe you've been giving your body to someone you know your spirit isn't aligned with. Maybe it started as comfort, a distraction, a way to feel wanted. But over time, something shifted. You began to feel emotionally cloudy, disconnected. Your peace started to fade. Your energy felt drained. That's not a coincidence. That's your spirit sounding the alarm. When your body says yes, but your soul says no, the conflict becomes internal chaos. And that chaos doesn't just disappear. It lingers. It affects your decisions, your discernment, your ability to hear clearly from God. And slowly, it erodes your confidence, your sense of worth, and your connection to your higher self. Or maybe your struggle isn't with people, but with pornography. At first, it feels private, harmless, even a way to escape, a stress release. But over time, it changes you. It rewires your mind to crave artificial stimulation. It distorts your view of intimacy. It trains your nervous system to seek lust, not love. And eventually, it becomes harder to connect with real people, harder to be present, harder to feel real emotions. The shame kicks in. The isolation grows. And spiritually, you start to feel numb. But that numbness isn't your identity. It's a signal, a sign that your spirit is starving for something deeper, purer, and more aligned. And then there's the coping. Using sex to escape pain, to feel something in the midst of heartbreak, loneliness, or abandonment. We've all done it. Reached for physical intimacy when our souls were crying out for healing, for God, for real connection. But what happens next is predictable. We feel emptier than before. The moment ends and the ache returns louder. Why? Because sex was never designed to be medicine for the soul. It was designed to mirror a soul that's already whole. When we use people to mask pain, we don't just damage ourselves, we risk wounding others too, creating cycles of dysfunction that only deepen our brokenness. But chosen one, hear me, there is redemption, there is freedom, there is healing. And it starts the moment you decide to stop running from this part of your story. You don't have to stay bound by shame. You don't have to carry guilt like a second skin. You don't have to pretend you're okay when your soul is aching. You can bring it all, every secret, every slip up, every silent battle to the feet of God. And He will not reject you. He will restore you. This message didn't find you by accident. It's not just content, it's a calling, a divine invitation to take your power back, to close the open doors, to break the soul ties, to purify your vessel. Because what's coming for you, what you're being prepared for, requires a new level of spiritual clarity, of emotional alignment, of energetic integrity. You're not just anybody. You are a light in this world. And when your energy is clean, your spirit is unstoppable. You walk into rooms and shift atmospheres. You speak and people feel the presence of God. You love and it heals. That's who you really are. And that's why this battle has been so intense. But the good news, you're not fighting alone. God is with you. Grace is available. And healing is closer than you think. So if your spirit is stirring, if your heart is pounding, if your eyes are burning with tears you didn't expect, pause right now. Breathe. This is your moment. This is your sign. This is your invitation to come home to yourself. Type 111 in the comments if you're ready to break the cycle, to reclaim your energy, to walk in divine alignment. That's not just a number, it's your agreement. Your yes to heaven. Your declaration that you're choosing to rise. And before you go, if this message spoke to your soul, Don't just keep it to yourself. Subscribe. Share it. Let others on this journey know they're not alone. Because together, we rise higher. Together, we heal. Together, we reclaim every piece of ourselves that was lost, stolen, or forgotten. You're not here by accident. You're being called higher. Let's walk this path together. Chosen one, come close. Your healing is sacred. You don't need more noise, more scrolling, or more distractions pretending to be peace. You need stillness. Not just physical stillness, but spiritual silence, the kind that lets you hear your own soul whisper beneath the chaos. You've been running on empty, pouring from a cup that hasn't been full in a long time. You've learned how to survive without stillness, but you cannot heal without it. And right now, healing is what you need most. Divine restoration, not temporary relief. Sacred replenishment, not hollow validation. Stop bleeding on people who never cut you. You are worthy of a soft place to land, but it starts inside you. Sit with the ache you've been numbing. Feel it. Touch it. Ask it where it came from. Don't push it away this time. Bring your pain before God, not just in your thoughts, but in your raw, honest surrender. Let him into the rooms you've kept locked, the ones still holding on to shame. You don't have to hide your wounds. He's not afraid of your mess. He's already holding the pieces you're trying to glue together on your own. Let the healing begin. Let it be real, let it be whole, and let it be complete. You've been taught to equate sex with love, performance with value, and desire with worth. But that's not truth, that's trauma. When you use sex to feel validated, when you offer your body hoping to feel seen, you're handing your spiritual identity to people who were never meant to hold it. You begin to believe that your body is your currency, that connection only comes through giving yourself away. And slowly, quietly, it steals from you. You don't notice it all at once. But over time, you start to feel hollow after the highs, empty after the entanglements, confused about why love still feels so far away. Sex is sacred. It was never meant to be a transaction for acceptance. You were not designed to be consumed. You were created to be cherished. And God validated you before any human ever touched you. He saw your soul and called it good. You don't need to prove your worth through intimacy. You are already eternally loved. Using sex to fill spiritual emptiness only deepens the void. It becomes a cycle of longing and regret, of pretending it's enough when your spirit is starving. True validation? It comes from within. It comes from knowing who you are and whose you are. You don't need to earn love with your body. You don't have to perform to be wanted. You're already enough before the touch, before the approval, before the attention. Don't trade your spirit for temporary affection. Preserve your power. Walk in the authority of your divine identity. And even after the body walks away, the soul sometimes doesn't. That's the thing about soul ties. They don't need proximity to stay powerful. You think you've moved on, but they still show up. In your dreams, in your thoughts, in the moments you feel drained without reason. That's because sex isn't just physical, it's spiritual. It creates bonds that go deeper than flesh. And when those bonds aren't broken, they linger like invisible chains. You might be wondering why you still feel stuck, why your discernment feels off, why you can't seem to fully step into what's next. It could be because you're still dragging pieces of someone who's no longer part of your life. Those ties cloud your clarity. They interfere with your peace. They take energy you didn't realize you were still giving away. But you can take it back. Through prayer, through fasting, through intentional release. You can sever what no longer serves your spirit. This isn't about hate or bitterness. It's about freedom. You cannot carry the spirits of your past into the promise of your future. Chosen one, your clarity matters. Your peace is sacred. Cut the ties. Reclaim your energy. Step into your destiny unbound. Sometimes, the ones we choose to share our bodies with look right on paper. They say all the right things, do all the right things, wear all the right smiles. But deep down, their spirit doesn't match yours. And yet, because you crave connection, you override that intuition. You lay down with someone your soul never said yes to. And afterward, something shifts. Your focus blurs. Your energy feels off. You feel a heaviness you can't explain. That's because intimacy isn't just skin to skin. It's spirit to spirit. And when your soul connects with someone misaligned, it creates an internal war. Your higher self knows the truth, even when your flesh seeks comfort. The pleasure is fleeting, but the fog it leaves behind can last for days. Weeks! Months! It makes your purpose feel far away. Your peace harder to find. Chosen one, your body is not a battleground for spiritual confusion. It's a temple. Sacred. Worthy of intentional love. Protect your energy from entanglements that feel good but cost too much. You don't need excitement that drains you. You need alignment that sustains you. Don't compromise your calling for chemistry. Wait for the one who lifts your spirit, not just your desire. And while we're here, let's speak truth. Not all the pain you're carrying started with you. Some of it was passed down. In silence. In generational patterns. In the quiet normalization of dysfunction. Maybe your father was unfaithful. Maybe your mother stayed when she should have left. Maybe intimacy was weaponized in your family or buried beneath secrets and shame. And now, here you are, repeating the cycles you swore you'd never walk in. But you weren't born to repeat them. You were born to break them. You are the interruption to the generational curse. You are the one chosen to say, "It ends with me." That kind of healing takes courage. It means facing what others avoided. It means choosing truth over comfort, purpose over pattern. It means becoming the chain breaker. And no, it won't always be easy. The path may get lonely. But every step you take toward healing echoes through generations. You are rewriting the story for everyone who comes after you. You are turning legacy into light. So don't hide from the pain. Confront it. Heal it. Transform it. Let your obedience to healing become the freedom your bloodline never knew. Now let's talk about the weight no one sees, the shame, the guilt, the silence around sexual mistakes, addictions, and abuse. So many chosen ones carry their pain in secret, afraid of judgment, afraid of being seen. And that silence? It becomes a prison. The enemy wants to keep you isolated, convinced you're too far gone, too damaged, too broken. But here's the truth. There is no condemnation in Christ. None. You are not your past. You are not dirty. You are not too late to be redeemed. What the enemy tried to use to destroy you, God is using to refine you, to elevate you, to show you how powerful you truly are. But freedom requires honesty. You have to bring it into the light. Healing only happens in truth. Confess it. Release it. Give it to God. And then watch how your life transforms. Your sexual energy, when aligned with your purpose, becomes your creative power, your magnetism, your ability to manifest blessings. But when it's leaking through misalignment and guilt, it drains you silently. Let today be the day you return to your highest frequency, not through perfection, but through surrender. Choose destiny over distraction. Choose purity not as repression, but as empowerment. Choose wholeness, not the illusion of it, but the real thing. If your spirit feels stirred, if something in you knows this message was for you, type 111 in the comments right now. Let it be your sign to heaven, to yourself, to your future that you are ready. Ready for release. Ready for clarity. Ready for restoration. And make sure you subscribe because we're just getting started. We're going deeper. Together. You are not less because of your past. You are more because of your surrender. You are not damaged. You are divine. Chosen one, rise. Healed, reclaim your story. Stay pure. Stay powerful. Stay chosen.